Hey everyone, I want to give some tips on passing your project management professional. Um, so I took the exam twice. You know, obviously the first time wasn't successful. But I want to share some tips, some things I learned and some channels I recommend. You know, First and foremost, I'm gonna say, the exam's pretty tough, they really want to make sure you know the steps, they really want to make sure you know the concepts, you know what phase of the project you're in, um, you know what sort of knowledge area you're using, which process area you're using. So keep those in mind. I really want to recommend one channel. They're called PMC Lounge. And so what I did for my first exam, I watched all their videos. They went through initiation, planning, executing, control and monitoring, closing, and then they had videos, of each knowledge area, within those main phases of the project. And yeah, it was a good breakdown, and PMC Lounge is free, so you know, and I had flashcards. The first thing I try to do, I try to memorize it, and I didn't read the PMBOK guide. And, a lot of, you know, they'll even tell you, in the videos to read the PMBOK guide, and I just couldn't sit there and read the whole thing, and I wasn't prepared, So I took the exam, didn't do that well. And yeah, man, I took it out and yeah, I was pretty bummed out, and so I signed up again last year in December. Um, and so what I did this time, come second time around, I watched PMC Lounge again, but another channel I recommend is called PMP with Ray. He breaks down he actually breaks down some of the questions in the exam. So he gives you mock questions, and um he shows you his process on how to solve those questions. So I highly recommend his channel. So I rewatched the PMC Lounge videos, and then I watch all the PMP with Ray. And his are solely focused on how to take the exam. He gives you a process. There's questions. It's like, all right, you can identify what phase of the project you're in, which knowledge area you want to use, and what step in that knowledge area. And then for questions that don't relate to the steps and the so quote unquote what process you're in, there's sort of a list of methods as a project manager. How do you want to approach a certain situation and so forth? And yeah, I recommend his channel. I did the flashcards again. I didn't, instead of memorizing, I broke down each answer within that flashcard, and just sort of understood each answer. Um, and yeah, some other tips I used. I actually read the Pinbot guide this time, so I didn't read the whole thing. But depending on what question I was in, you know, um, I guess like managing styles, you know, I would actually, take that subject, control find in the Pinbot guide, and read through that whole area. Or, if I was in the risk um, knowledge area, um, or integration, or communication, you know, then what I would do, I would read through those areas, and then then they got, even more processes in those areas: risk analysis, qualitative, quantitative, risk responses. So you got all of these different topics. And when you read through this, you'll find like, okay, a lot of the answers in these flashcards can be found in the book. And yeah, I don't I don't recommend, just straight up reading the book right off the back. I do recommend doing, Simply Learn offers like a free mock exam. There's websites that offer free mock exams. Do the questions, and then whatever that question's about, read through the PMBOK guide, whatever that question is about. And then that way you can correlate, what that question is to whatever the PMBOK guide is saying. And yeah, that's my breakdown. Don't get discouraged if you fail. Even 3 times, just get back out there. You gotta study. You can't. This exam. It's not testing your memory. It's testing how you're gonna, actually approach a project. So, they want to see, if you really know what to do. The PMP, these practices, like mentioned, they get some of the best minds, all over the world, and based on that, this process or these methods is what they highly recommend, to manage a successful project. And a lot of it's from lessons learned, trying to make things, trying to improve things. So yeah, you definitely you want to go into this, and you can use real projects at your work, and that's what I started doing. I started managing larger projects, and I was like, well, you know what, I could actually use this. I'm using these techniques and apply it. That also helped me the second time around, because I was learning all these topics, and then I realized, oh, you know what, I'm using this, I'm using that. I could use this. I didn't really know about this technique, and so forth. Some of these techniques, on a smaller scale, you might not need to use them, but when these projects get bigger and more complex, it comes in handy. Yep. Anyway, I might make another video. You know, maybe I'll go through a practice project, kind of break it down, and yep. But anyway, these are my tips, and like I said, there's no easy way out. Memorization. I mean, you might get lucky, but I recommend understanding the material, because it's really valuable material. And going to the exam, like you're managing a project, how you want to use these techniques and tools and all of that. So yep. Anyway, have a great day.